Recording. Before we get with our awesome guest speaker, I'm going to go over really quickly a few things team-wide that's going on. We're having our sneak peek a little bit early this month. We're having it this coming Monday, so the 11th. So mark your calendars. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just seeing what's going on here. Okay, so sneak peek is the 11th this month instead of the week following, because Summit's coming up and we're going to be crazy busy with other things. We'll go ahead and get it the 11th through whatever that week is. So start inviting, start putting posts up, start sending messages, all that wonderful stuff to get people into our sneak peek. And I'm going to try to do a couple different things to kind of spice it up this month. So invite. Also, the challenge packs, we know the promotions. The 21-day fix did get extended this month, 22-minute hardcore, and they're throwing in the sandbag and the containers, which is awesome. That's a crazy deal. Also, we're having a team-wide 3-day refresh. So we're actually starting the 22nd, which is right before Summit. If you have people who want to start prior or you want to start prior, feel free to invite. I'll get a group open. Actually, I think there's already a group. Yes, there's already a group made, and I'll put it in our team page. So this is the perfect time of the year to do a 3-day refresh. People don't want to do a long-term thing, so 3 days is ideal. So go ahead and invite to that. If you want to join us, feel free to do that. Okay, so we have a special guest tonight, and I'm going to have to go and read her kudos because seriously, guys, this is blowing my mind. Like, I had to read it, like, over and over again to really, like, grasp what has happened. All right, so Rachel Harshfield, she became a coach in August of 2014, all right? So she's coming up on 2 years soon. She went 5-star in 10 months. Right, mind blown. All right, and then 7-star in 11 months. And then she is also, well, she's an 8-star diamond elite coach. She is a dietitian tech, nutrition specialist. She's a married mom of, she's a twin, can I talk? She has twins who are 13 years old, and obviously that keeps her very, very, very busy. So just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what you've got going on in your life, you can make this business super successful. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Ms. Rachel, and thank you so much for being on tonight.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys so much for having me. Can you guys hear me okay? Everything, you guys
yes.
Hear me? Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here with you guys and to share with you guys a little bit about kind of just Shakeology and how it works, why it works, and also how to really utilize the benefits of Shakeology, not just for you, like yourself, but also for your team, and how you can share it to have it, really impact your business in such a positive way that it goes way beyond like the financial positivity that obviously challenge packs and growing a team and all that provides, but it's more of a foundational piece to build a foundationally strong team. So yes, I am a registered dietitian technician. I am a nutrition specialist, and I believe that in part had a really a deep impact on why I grew so fast in this industry, because I already had that connection with nutrition. So I already had a base, but I always tell my team, and they hear me say it 100 times, that doesn't necessarily make it easier or have made it easier for me. I'm going to turn this light on because I'm kind of getting blown up in my face a little bit. It didn't necessarily make it easier for me, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, you just wanted me to buy that product, right? Or you just want me to do that because that's what you rep for. So I didn't have a transformational story. I didn't have a before picture. I didn't have any of that. It was already something that I was into. Like, I'd been in this industry for over 10 years. And so it was already something that, first of all, I was not a protein person. Like, if anybody would have told me, I have to tell you guys my Shakeology story because you guys are going to laugh. So I got to tell you the background. Okay, So I moved out here in California in 2008. And when I had my twins, my husband and I got P90X, and we're like, yeah, let's do this together. I got back my baby body back, and my pre-baby body back. And I was rocking my skinny jeans like 4 months out of having twins. So I felt really good. I worked out a lot, but I never ever did anything that was like protein powders. I thought, what? No, I eat real food. And so Shakeology wasn't even had at that point. Like, it hadn't even been launched. It wasn't even something thought of. It was just infomercials at that point. Moved out here in 2008 from Oregon to California. And the gym that I belonged to, because I was a master trainer for 24-Hour Fitness and for Northwest Fitness, I pay like $28 a year for my gym membership, which is ridiculous. I know. So of course I pay it every year, because I'm like, you can never find that. And so the gym here locally was like 20 minutes. So if you live in Southern California, or anyone that has a lot of traffic, 20 minutes really means 40. By the time you get there and come home, it's like an hour on the road. I just didn't have that kind of time. Like, that was just not something that I was willing to spend. And I had 2 4-year-olds at home. They hated going to the kids club. And so I was looking for something. So I got onto that. I was like, I remember watching that Beachbody thing, and I really liked P90X. But let me just try this other one. I really like Shaun T, and I think that he would really work for me. So got Insanity, brought it home. And when Shakeology launched, so I don't know how many of you guys remember back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember, but Beachbody had this thing called the Wowee Gym. It's where you go in and you'd like blog, and you'd be like, I'm going to go do my workout right now, and I'll come back and tell you guys how it was. Well, I was big on that because I loved it. I thought it was a great idea. I really needed the support. And so I would go in there and be like, I'm going to go do my workout. I come back 20 minutes later. I'm like, Dad, I couldn't even finish that workout. It was so hard. And so, these coaches would see me coming in there and posting and sharing. So one day, I'll never forget, I was getting the umbrella out of the closet, and I was getting my kids off to preschool, and my phone rings, and it's Christine Dreyer. And she's like, hey, I see you're so active. And she tells me who she is real quick. This is from Beachbody. And I remember, this is before any of the coaching platforms and all that were even, there. And so she was like, I see you're so active on these blogging boards, and, we're launching this new thing. It's called coaching. You'd be so great at it. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? I'm like, no. At that time, I was finishing my degree. I'm like, no, I'm finishing up my degree. Like, I'm going to be a dietitian technician. Hello, and be so professional. Like, coaching, I got other plans. So obviously, hung up. Thank you very much, but no, thank you. I was nice. But then I think it must have been about 2 years later, 2010, maybe going into 2011. Scotty Hobbs. You guys know who he is? Heard his name before? Calls me, says, yeah, we saw that you were really active and doing all this and and I see you've got personal trainer, you're a master coach, you're a nutrition specialist. Would you be interested in trying this new product come out? It's called Shakeology. I'm like, no, I eat real food. Like, that's what I told him. I was like, no, sorry, I eat real food. And hung up the phone. Like, again, very nice, but just not interested. Like, it was not something that I was looking into. Even at that time building my practice, it was just not something that I would even think about. Like, I teach people to eat real foods. So it wasn't something that I had on my radar. So fast forward, loved Insanity, love it. And then a couple of my friends had reached out to me. One in particular had reached out to me. She was dealing with cancer. Again, we're like in our mid-30s. I'm like, how can she have cancer? Like, that just seems so unheard of. But it was a very difficult type of cancer, not one that's treatable. And so she was going through some major chemo and radiation and needed to be on a meal replacement. And so she was like, how about the stuff from the GNC? And I was like, no, like, don't. That stuff has got chemicals, additives, preservatives. She's like, well, have you heard of this stuff called Herbalife? I'm like, yeah, and the number 4 ingredient in Herbalife is called tree bark. So I guess they're taking herbs to a whole different level, and they're offering you processed tree bark. So no, don't be taking no Herbalife. I'm like, let me find something. Just give me some time. I've got some friends. Let me just see what I can put together for you. And so I contacted a friend out here. He has a superfood company. So I was like, Sean, I need a ashwagandha, I need bilberry, I need acai, I need goji berries. I need all of this. I need a whey isolated protein. I need something in a meal replacement type form. Do you have anything? Do you know anything? Can you refer me to anything? And he's like, whoa, 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 wait, first of all, he's like, it's going to taste like crap. He's like, and it's going to be like $600. Like, tell me, what is it that you're trying to do here? Like, what is it that you're looking for? And so I said, I have a friend, told him the whole the background, the story, what was going on. And so he said to me, you should call Darren O'Lean. Why would I want to call Darren O'Lean? He's like, you should really call Darren O'Lean. And I'm like, okay. So Darren O'Lean in our industry, my industry, is like Brad Pitt in movie industry. Like, we know who he is. And I was like, no. He's the guy who sold himself out to that weird company that, you know, and he's like, yeah, the same company, that workout program company. And I'm like, oh, is that Beachbody? That's the one that I like that program. So I started to make the connection. Still wasn't interested. And I did look into it, and I did refer her. Didn't sign up as a coach, but I got her started on Shakeology. Just said, this is what you should do. I mean, I don't know, she probably just went to Beachbody website or however she ordered it, got herself a free coach, right? So, this, like, I'm a real faithful person. So like, I just kept thinking this is all signs from God. Like, he was just like placing all this stuff in my life and in my path. And, I was working with the endocrinologist. I loved him. I was doing consultations with him, and I was working with his, you know, his groups and putting together meal plans and things like that. And I don't want to get too much into that because I did love that part of my life a lot. But I started seeing my cousin post things on her Facebook, and I called her up, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what? I'm like, I'm a dietitian. Like, why are you who is helping you with your meal plan? And what are you doing? And what in the heck are those containers? And she's like, oh, it's this great program. And she was telling me all about it. And this is now going into spring of 2014. So I said, when I come to Portland, because I was going up to Portland for a visit, I said, I'll see what you're doing. But, you know, you should have called me. I would have helped you. You don't need these crazy containers. Although they're kind of cute, but you don't need them. I said, I can help you with this. So when I get to Portland, this is now in April, she puts up on her countertop the workouts, the containers, the book. And I'm looking through the book, and she takes this bag of Shakeology and she puts it on the counter. And I made the connection, because before that point, I didn't make the connection. Like, all this was working together. I mean, and it's amazing, you guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. How many people don't make that connection? They don't know. You can have conversations with people. Have you ever heard of Shakeology? No. Just because we hear about it all the time and we see Beachbody coaches on our feed all the time, it does not mean that everybody knows about Beachbody. Because I will tell you that 1 out of 20 people don't know what Beachbody is, and they certainly don't know what Shakeology is. So I was like, whoa, wait a second. And it all just like clicked. And so that was in April. I still did not sign up as a coach. I waited and I watched. I watched Stephanie Davies posting, and I kept seeing this girl, Stephanie, posting on my cousin's wall. And I kept like looking and being like, what in the heck is this girl doing? And I was just watching quietly, and out of the blue, I just was like, okay, that's it. And my girlfriend, who is also she is best friends with Stephanie Davies' mom. She called me. I went to Portland. This is now in August. We're getting ready to go up to a family vacation up in Washington. Still hadn't signed up as a coach. And she was like, hey, you know, we're going to take our kids miniature golfing. And she says, I really think I'm going to sign you up, or I'm thinking about you. And she goes, because I'm going to go and talk to somebody. And I think if I talk to this person, and if it goes well, and meeting goes well, I'm thinking it might be something you might be interested in. That was her like lead off with me, right? That was my upline's lead off. And I said, hey, Luce, if you're going to go meet with that Stephanie Davies chick, I'm totally in. What time are you meeting and where are you going? Why don't I just meet you there? And she was like, what? Like, she didn't even have to ask me. And then I showed up to the meeting with like 3 people I wanted to sign up. So that was how it all happened for me. I watched for a very, very long time. And so from April basically till August 5th was the day that I finally signed up as a coach. And I had been recommending this product to my friend for like almost a year prior to that. So just because you don't think people are watching, it doesn't mean that they're not. It's just when they're ready that they're finally going to jump in. It depends on you and how much influence you've created through your action and not your words. You can post all those cute little things up on your wall, but that's not going to make the difference. That's not going to make people trust you. This is a health and a fitness business. So in order to build that trust, you have got to act. It is your actions that will speak louder for you than your words. So if you are not acting, then you need to put together or put in place some action steps and make them consistent and make them credible and make them something that is going to connect with another person so that when they are ready, they remember you. Our brains are like files. We have file sections in our brains and we pull things out when we need to remember information because we store it there. So make sure that whatever you're posting on your Facebook is something that's going to be, I always say, make it post-worthy. Make it something that's going to impact a person's life and they're going to remember you for it. So that's how I started with Shakeology. And of course, I started a challenge group. I never did a challenge group with one of my coaches, with my upline and I. We ran a challenge group, but we never ran one with Stephanie Davies. I've never been in one of Stephanie Davies' like challenge groups per se. I ran my own, and after a month or two, I was like, I want my own thing going on, and I did. I started running my own challenge groups because it's what you do in those challenge groups, and it's how you show up as a leader that's going to build trust, integrity, and the foundational piece to your business that is essential. If you are not coaching from a foundational level, then you are going to get cracks in your foundation. And when you have cracks in those foundation, it is very, very hard as you're building layers on top. Think of like a house. And if you don't build that foundation strong and you don't pour a strong foundation on a level ground, what's going to happen to that foundation is going to crack, it's going to turn, it's going to twist, and your house is going to eventually fall down. So you need to make sure that what you're doing is you're building solid from the ground up. And how to do that is through your leadership as a coach. And it doesn't matter if you're an emerald coach. It doesn't matter if you don't even have anybody under you. It's what you do today. It's that line in the sand that you draw today going forward that people start to watch you. People start to follow you. You know, I was telling my team earlier today that, you know, for the first time now, I'm starting to have people just reach out to me, like out of the blue, like, hey, and they'll tell me things like, I've been following you for like 6 months. And it was this one post that got me. And then you just kept posting stuff and posting stuff. And they've never liked, commented, or shared ever, 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 ever. I will have people that will just be like, I'm ready. They'll email me. Okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, who are you again? And I'm like looking through my messages, like, did I ever talk to this person? Because I want to make sure that if I talk to this person, then I have something to like relate back to that conversation. And I'm like, okay, I've never even talked to this person before, but they follow you on social media. So Shakeology. I'm going to give you guys a quick 411 on Shakeology, and I call it my Shakeology 101 for everybody. Everybody should know this about Shakeology. Everyone should be sharing this with your teams and about Shakeology, and everybody in my challenge groups. If you want to be in one of my challenge groups, you have to be active on Shakeology. If you are not an active coach or active challenger, you are not in my challenge groups. You're in my accountability page, and that's fantastic. And you're going to get support. You're going to get encouragement. You had a challenge pack a year ago, and you haven't been in a challenge group since then. You're still in my accountability page. Even if you've been in a challenge group and it was like 6 months out, if you're not an active coach or an active challenger, meaning that you are receiving Shakeology and drinking it every single day, you're not in my challenge group. And the reason for that is that you cannot expect, it's like, I never forget, I'm sure you guys know who Coach Jimmy is. Jimmy and I are good friends, and Jimmy always tells me, you know, people, the craziest things will say, oh, I want your results. But, I have to do that drink thing. It's like, dude, yeah, you do. Like, this is what you need to do to get to this. If you skip one step, you're not going to get results at all because you're not making the commitment, and that's the thing. So, Shakeology, how is it formulated? So Shakeology, and why was it that I went from I don't take crazy supplements to, yes, I will not just integrate this into my own business, but my kids drink it, my husband drink it, you know, my parents drink it, my grandparents drink it. So first and foremost, if you guys are coming from a place of Shakeology is for weight loss, you need to scrap that because it is not a weight loss anything. It's not. And actually, the Academy of Dietitians and Nutritionists, we actually do recognize Shakeology as a meal replacement, but we do not recognize it as a weight loss supplement. So because there's two very different things. Weight loss supplements, weight loss aids are given by with a prescription. You have to go and see your dietitian, you have to go and see your endocrinologist, you have to go and see one of your, your specialized doctors to help get you started on those types of medications that are actually approved and prescribed for weight loss. And there's lots of different types of pills, there's lots of different types of shakes and all that stuff that have different types of chemicals in them that will cause your body to react in different ways depending on what you're diagnosed with. But that's not what Shakeology is about, okay? So how Shakeology works in the system and what it does in the system is this. It's got the digestive enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics that support your body's natural function to digest foods and so when it's supporting inside of that so I don't know if you guys know, but when you eat food, it goes down into your stomach, and our bodies have digestive acids, prebiotics, probiotics. It's like the good belly acids that we need. It's like good bacteria versus bad bacteria. We all have it in our body. That's where you hear like a lot of people talk about candida. It comes from our gut and like what's going on inside of our gut, how we react, and also has the digestive enzymes. The enzymes are what break down the food. When your body is going through digestion, it's working through your food in your system. Your circulatory system, little cilia, like hair-like fibers. I always kind of like think of like Cupid crawlers. They surround your blood, or surround your digestive system, and they carry nutrients through your blood, through your circulatory system, carries nutrients to your major muscle groups and organs, and that is how they get fed. Blood to your muscles is like food to your stomach. And if what's going out to your digestive system first is fats and like lipids and fatty acids, then guess what gets fed first? Yeah. That's why you've got a lot of people who are complaining about cramps in their muscles. They're talking about circulatory issues. Their fingertips are cold. Their toes are cold. They've got creaky bones. They're not feeling so good. They ate and they're feeling a little sluggish. It's because your body's digestive system is not working properly. You've got to stimulate your body's digestive system first. And that's what Shakeology does with its formulation with the prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. That is also why you have to drink it within 30 minutes of shaking up your shake or blending your shake or whatever. It's got live cultures in there. If you do not drink it first, you are causing yourself to have not good bacteria inside of your system. So make sure that you share that with people. If they're feeling gassy or bloated or all that weird stuff, ask them, are you drinking your shake right away? Because if you're not, you need to have a conversation, because you need to make sure that you're drinking it within 30 minutes. That could be some of the digestive upset that you could be feeling. Because a lot of people will make it and then they'll go work out and come back to it, and it's been like an hour and they're like, oh, I went and worked out and I took a quick shower and I put it in the fridge and I just shook it back up because it kind of separated a little bit, and then I drank it and my stomach didn't feel so good. It's like, okay, well, did you read the bag? I mean, there's a reason why it says drink it within 30 minutes of mixing it. So that's step one, okay? So now your circulatory system is getting the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that it needs to support the major muscle groups and functions. Well, when your major muscle groups and your major muscle groups and organs are getting the amount of, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that they need, that sends messages to your pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is in your brain, and that sends messages to your brain that it is satiated and it is full, it is fine. So then you feel less hunger. But you also have maca in there. Maca is an adaptogenic herb that increases the thyroid. It increases this is an Eastern medicine, an Easternized medicine that they use in different places, not just China, but like, just any kind of Easternized culture, where they use a lot of these adaptogenic herbs. Before there was ever modern day medicine, they actually relied on these adaptogenic herbs to help heal. So maca's been around for a super long time. If you feel people saying they got lots of energy and they're feeling really good and they feel like their libidos are all up and high, and I got husbands calling me going, thank you so much, my wife, she's back. It's like, that's maca. You can be thanking him. But that's where it comes from. So Shakeology has the right amount, the right dose of maca. And that's also why I don't, my team sometimes wants to have more than one a day. And I'm like, you know, there are adaptogenic herbs in there. So you need to be a little careful making sure. I mean, I'm not so worried about the nutrients and the vitamins, because if your body gets too many vitamins, it's going to flush it anyway. They're not going to absorb. But adaptogenic herbs don't work that way. So that's why I suggest that you do not, if you want something more, have Recover. Order yourself. If you feel like you want to have a secondary shake, that's why we have the Performance line. If your muscles are needing more, they're creating more, go with the Recover formula. So that's where Shakeology stems from. We have our culture, our country, our society is going through, I know you hear Carl talking about it all the time, the obesity epidemic. And that's no joke. So just to kind of play it out, like, he's not just blowing some crazy steam, like saying, oh yeah, he's 100% right. Our country is obese. And I can say from a professional standpoint that I would say at least 65 to 70% of our country is obese, overweight, or dealing with other types of digestive type issues, whether it's Crohn's, colitis, irritable bowel, whatever it is. They're dealing with something from their digestional tract that needs to be fixed. So again, because our society is so saturated, you've got Plexus, you've got Herbalife, you've got Body by V, you've got Vega, you've got Arbonne, or whatever the heck it's called. Whatever. They're all wanting to be a part of this Shakeology, right? Because Shakeology came out first. So they're all just trying to piggyback on something, but they can't, because Beachbody was smarter. Carl and Michael and John Cogden, they were all really smart, and they put together something that was a patent formula. They can't infringe on what Shakeology has done. So you don't ever have to worry about them coming in and trying to take over, what we've got or what we've been able to create within Beachbody. If those people who have tried those other products, they're going to come back to Beachbody anyway, because I can't even tell you how many Arbonne people I get every single day, because Arbonne was great when they did that little thing, we get on the airplane and you're going to get sick or whatever. That was like their one hit wonder. And I don't know what they're doing in the nutrition world, because they shouldn't be in the nutrition world, because it's not the same stuff. It's just not. So I have, a lot of people have asked me, how do you deal with people who have, diabetics, because diabetics are, they have to watch their sugar levels. It is approved to use with diabetic patients. Type 1 is a completely different type. We're talking about type 2 diabetics and before they go into their whole diabetic, before they actually get diagnosed as a diabetic. This is something that will definitely help them, but it's not something to replace their medicine, but it is something to get them to the point where they can replace their medicine. I have patients coming off their blood pressure medication, because as you lose weight, your blood pressure will naturally lower. Your cholesterol, you guys understand that cholesterol you can study for the test before you go in, right? Like if you're going to eat eggs and bacon and then go in and get your cholesterol checked, hello, you're going to be like off the charts. So making sure that you are, keeping your body, that just comes from eating clean and making sure that you know what your cholesterol markers are. Cholesterol is also genetic. So making sure that the plaque in your blood is staying flushable. And Shakeology also helps and support that. But you have to back it up with 80% of what we do. 80% is your nutrition. This is not drink your Shakeology and let's go to Cheesecake Factory. Drink your Shakeology and we're going to go to Costco and eat every single sample in sight. Doesn't work that way. Just doesn't. I had my shake today. I'm good. No, doesn't work that way. If you don't control what you put in your mouth, then your body will let you know it. So you have to be careful. You have to be cognizant. And this is something that I teach my team all the time. Shakeology is a non-negotiable. And I will share with you guys something personal for me. I have PCOS. So I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a real pain in the rear hiney. If you guys know anything about it, I can gain 6 pounds overnight. And I actually have a post that I have yet to share because it's really hard for me to share these types of things. But I know that it will help somebody, and I know it'll be impactful. But it's like when I come off of my own plan that I know for myself that I'm not supposed to be eating. There are foods that I'm not supposed to eat because it triggers my PCOS and my symptoms will just multiply. So the endocrinologist that I go to is the same one that I worked for, and he was laughing at me when I went into the office because I went to see him this last week, and he was like, "You're the girl who came off all her meds, and I told you not to," because I'm like, right, because coming off my meds means I have to be responsible. And staying on my meds means I could be irresponsible. And I don't want to be irresponsible with my body. And I don't want to be irresponsible with my life. And he's like, and you are why you're the 0.001% of the patients that I see. Because, patients want to be irresponsible. They want the excuse. They want the easy way. They want the pill. They don't want to do the work. So our groups, our challenge groups, our community, what we put together as a team, as it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in her challenge group or his challenge group. We together, and this is something that I really feel positive about with Beachbody, because I met Natalie in one of the B&B study groups. So it's like we have groups as we get you go up into the ranks of Beachbody. They put together support groups for you because they understand that being in a community and having that community feel and community support is so helpful. And it's the same thing with our challenge groups. So if you have somebody that is at 0.000% who doesn't want to be on medication anymore, can this help them? Absolutely, it can help them. But it comes from them wanting to make those changes. You have to make certain changes. People with PCOS, people with, diabetics, people who have irritable bowel, people who have Crohn's disease or colitis, any of those things. This will help them, but they have to be willing to make those dietary changes first. And that's 80% of what we do is from our dietary changes inside of our challenge group, making sure that they understand how Shakeology works, why it's important, and what happens. And I don't know about you, Natalie, but I know that I have people who have left my challenge groups and been like, I'm good, I can do it. I'm gonna stay drinking my shake, and I'm gonna do my meal, my workouts every single day, or maybe 5 days a week, and I'm gonna drink my shakes, and I'm still gonna use my portion size containers, but I've reached my goal, I'm good. And then they leave and they come back 3 months later and they're like, I can't be without a group. Like, I need a group, because it's the accountability, it's the support, it's the motivation, because we all fall off the wagon. And if anybody in this group is saying, nah, I can do it on my own, then you haven't failed hard enough. You haven't failed enough in order to realize that, we as a team, as a community, we are stronger, we are better. So the only other thing that I was and I'll open it up to questions, because I know that you guys probably have some questions for me. But the only other thing that I wanted to say was, in regards to your challenge groups and making sure you as a leader, if you're running a challenge group, be raw with your people. Don't paint some crazy picture of yourself that's not true. That's not, people want authenticity. They want to know that they can come to you and talk to you about anything. You can ask anyone on my team, they'll tell you I'm available to my team. I try to be, because I believe that it's really important to help support where you can. And if you think that there's nobody out there that needs help, or that they say no, or that you failed as a coach, seriously, guys, I look to fail every single day. I want to fail forward every single day. I get excited when I have a challenge in front of me. When someone challenges me on something, when someone tells me no, I get excited, because I want to help that person even more. And so I know that they're going to come back around by my actions, by my example, and by me showing them what is possible. Then they're going to come back around, and they're going to be like, you know what, I can't get these images out of my head, and I really need the help. And so just because they say no, it doesn't mean no forever. It means no, not right now. This is not the right time for me. But you show them that you're serious, and that they can trust you, and that you are building influence in a marketplace, and that you're not just some scam that's out there. And over time, that trust will become become easy for them to give. But don't expect someone to have that trust until you earn it. You have to earn that trust, and that comes from a relationship. And if you don't build those relationships with your team, then your team will not have that trust or that loyalty with you. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up if you guys have any questions for me.
Yeah, that was incredible. Number one, I wanted to say, and we all know this, but it takes hearing it over and over again, that people are always watching, and the ones that are not liking your post, and the ones who are not commenting on your post, and the ones who are not answering your messages are most of the times the ones who do eventually come around and they blow your mind. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't even know, you were even my friend anymore on Facebook. So that was a big one. I did want to ask, I do have quite a few friends with Crohn's and colitis. One of my best friends suffers from colitis, like extremely bad. And I've tried to get her to buy into shakeology, and she's actually a nutritionist. Okay. And I don't understand why she doesn't understand how it can help her. So what do you feel like the right wording? I mean, she works for the government, or she used to, as a nutritionist, and I'm like, look at this. Like, how can you not see this is going to help you in your severe colitis? So
my husband has ulcerative colitis, and so that's another hit home for me. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you the medications that he was on, and I go back and forth with gastroenterologist. And again, like, this is one of those things where, I mean, I could walk into the hospital and be like, dude, seriously, Dr. Matthews, like, we need to have a serious talk, because you're not giving my husband, I know he's in the middle of a flare-up right now, but you're not giving him this drug. And like, he handed my husband a drug one time, and I'm like, he's not taking this. Go find something else. And he's like, he has to take it. He has an inflammation. This is a severe, issue, and he would have like a flare-up. And I'm like, this is a cancer drug, and you're not going to give this to my husband because the severe side effects. Don't treat my husband, or you have to really be proactive. Listen, I obviously, I love doctors. I come from a family of doctors. I get it. I understand it. They are there for a purpose. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, if you guys have any doctors in your family, you can all ask them. Ever since Obamacare came in, the way that we treat patients is a lot different. That patient care, getting to know your patients, understanding where they're coming from and their why, and like their families, and trying to help them or meet them at their needs. We didn't have that time. We don't have that time. They come into the office, and whoever the medical director is like pushing patients through your office, and like, oh, okay, they've been in your office for 15 minutes. What are they still doing in there? Get them out. Get them a prescription and get them out. Because that's just the way that the medical field is today. And I don't like that. I don't like that about it. So depending, I would go back to your friend, and I would ask her, tell me your reasons why. Let her answer. Like, just say, you know what, I was on a call tonight. This is what I would do. Say I was on a call tonight, and she's a registered dietitian, and she's a nutrition specialist. Her husband has, Crohn's disease. I mean, tell her, just say, hey, she's got PCOS. Her husband's got, ulcerative colitis. They're all on Shakeology. She's got her husband off of 2 of his meds and working on the 3rd. And, she's off all of her meds for her PCOS. So what is it in Shakeology that you're afraid of? And have you ever sent out that YouTube? It's called 100 Doctors Don't Lie. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yes, it's awesome.
It's so good. It's great. And have you sent that to her?
No, I just feel like she was so resistant that I guess for me, I don't want to be pushy, even though I know it's going to help. I don't know. Yeah. I just need to go back to her.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, hey, listen, like, I'm just reaching out to you because I know, and that's how I do with a lot of people that are in the health field, is I'll just say, listen, I know what we were taught to believe in college, and I know what we were taught to believe, whenever we do continuing education classes, we're not taught that this avenue, holistic medicine, or, any type of this format. Listen, we're an MLM, right? We're a multi-level marketing company, right? Like, we all know that. We're totally well aware of that. That is not something in the health industry that they are comfortable with. Because what that does is it takes away from the pharmaceutical companies, and the pharmaceutical companies are big business, and big business is what keeps the government happy, and the government wants everybody to have more money for, you know, to do research and things like that. There's a place for all of that. But I still, for me personally, I'm an advocate for humans' health. And that was where I had to say, you know what, listen, I get it. I understand it. And I do appreciate so much, because doctors save lives every single day. But so does this. And if someone is looking for something that's more along the lines of being more proactive with their health. So she could just be really scared and a little bit timid. You know, my husband was just like, I don't know, sweetheart. Like, you know, this is my health we're playing with. I'm like, I got you. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you, you know. But it was slowly weaning him off of those things. It wasn't something that anyone can come off of. Same with me. You know, I was on a different type of thyroid medicine. They had put me on Armour because of how my PCOS would affect my thyroids. And so it was not my normal like T2, T3, it was my T4s that were being affected. And so I knew that if I was going to come off of it, I had to be tested every 6 weeks. My blood had to be tested, and I had to wean myself off. Like, these are things that you would know. So you would really have to understand and let your doctors know that this is something that you're looking to do, that you want to be able to see how your body's going to react. The problem is with ulcerative colitis and Crohn's and, you know, irritable bowel, all those things, is it's all digestive. And like I just got done telling you guys, if your digestive system is unhealthy, it's really, really paralyzing. It's debilitating almost. And so there's fear that's involved with that. But aside all of other things, it's healthy for her. She should understand that with ulcerative colitis or Crohn's or any of those things, your body's already taking in a third to a fourth less nutrients every single meal, because their body's not absorbing it. So this would be something that's only going to help. You let her know that it's fast, it's soluble, so it's going to be in her system, and it's going to be soluble a lot faster, and that's going to help her body be able to absorb and to utilize those nutrients in the best way to get her healthier, feeling better faster, and especially have more energy. So those are some things that I would definitely share with her. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And if you need a reference, or if she feels more comfortable talking to somebody, you're more than welcome to give her my information. I'll happily reach out to her too.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Anybody else?
I'm going to hog the floor here. So.
Oh, that's okay. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. Let me start my video. Okay. What do you say to those, I don't know what you call them, I don't want to be named, the muscle heads, the guys who are just stuck on the protein, they have to have it, they don't want to do anything else but protein. And yes, we have the performance line, but as far as just this, you know, health, for their health, what do you say to those guys who just refuse to take Shakeology because it's just not going to be good enough like the protein shakes?
Well, so those muscle heads, those muscle guys, Shakeology isn't it's not going to give them as much protein as some of those other shakes out there. I mean, they're right on that. Shakeology does not have, it has the right amount of protein for our bodies to help our bodies with in a meal situation, a regular meal. So I would look to them and say, okay, but as you know, building muscle is not just, you know, about proteins or amino acids. You also have to have to get that dense, that lean muscle mass. A lot of these, it depends, and again, it depends. If they're looking to bulk up, Shakeology is not for them. I mean, it really isn't. So if they're looking to have something that's going to supplement them, to give them more energy, to help them, and to help their circulatory system be more effective in the body, and have it be more effective in helping their protein shake or whatever to do what it needs to do, which is deposit, you know, 64 grams of protein, then I would say, then we can have that conversation. But again, those guys that are looking to grow muscle, like major muscle, pack on pounds, Shakeology is really, I mean, honestly, Shakeology is not for them, because that's not what it's formulated for. It's just not. It's just not. So I don't know if that helps you, or kind of probably doesn't help you at all, other than, you know, at least it's vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that they wouldn't be getting otherwise.
Yeah,
it does help, because it's kind of like it's twofold, because yes, like I said, we have the performance line, the creatine, right, and all the things that we can offer, but wanting to be able to give that to them, because they're not necessarily for them, but even to share that with someone else. You know what I mean? If they're a potential coach, they want to know how that's going to help their potential clients, especially if they're personal trainers and things like that. You know, you kind of face those questions. So what is this going to do for those? So, I mean, it did help me. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I've got a lot of, I got 2 clients who are gym owners, and their trainers all want, you know, they're like, Shakeology is not enough. And listen, I mean, I'll just be honest, from my years training inside of a gym, they want the fast and the furious muscle mass, but unfortunately, if you don't keep feeding that muscle at that level, you're not going to be able to sustain it. And if you ever looked, I mean, I did a whole video, and I don't think I ever posted on my team page, and gosh darn it, I should have, but when I was up in Portland over spring break, I actually think it was over Father's Day weekend, I was walking the Costco aisle, and I was like, holy cannoli, there was like every single protein powder from here to Timbuktu. And I'm turning around the things that I'm reading, and like, it's not just 1 scoop, it's like 2 scoops of Shakeology, 2 scoops of their protein to equal 1 serving. And everyone's like, oh yeah, that stuff I get at Costco is only $64 and it's awesome. And I'm looking at it going, yeah, dude, you got to take 2 scoops of that. So that 64 or whatever service lasting you like 2 weeks. Like, what are you talking about? It's awesome and it's cheaper. It's not cheaper. It's a lot more expensive, and you're not getting half of what you would get inside of, you know, having Shakeology. So anybody other than those who are trying to build major muscle and gain weight and bulk up for football season or whatever, and they're not wanting to try the performance line, I will tell you, I don't want to, performance line's a whole nother call, but the performance line is approved by the National Sports Federation for collegiate and professional athletes. And if anybody knows anything about those types of certifications that you have to go through, Beachbody does not mess around. I mean, first of all, to have Harvard scientists in there, you know, formulating the performance line and then backing it up with NSF. Those are very expensive licensings. Those are very, very excruciating. Like, they go through every single formulation and how and where and what it's going to do with the body, especially with synthesis. You guys were talking about anatomy and physiology here. We're not talking about, you know, 1 + 1. We're talking about intricate parts of the body. So Beachbody is very, very, man, Carl and John have done it right, where they take a lot of time to bring out new products and to try new things, because when they want to do a launch, they're going to make sure that it's going to be successful, and they're not going to be tied up like all these other companies and all these different claims and lawsuits and claims. You know, those things, we don't want any business with that. So trust in that. Trust in the fact that you're with a solid company who does their research and pays good money to make sure that the research is done properly from the first run. They're not going to put out something there that's not good. So I would definitely recommend, you know, the performance line creatine and recovery. I really like those 2. I like hydrate as well. My husband, again, ulcerative colitis causes cramps. If he's not properly hydrated, it causes major muscle cramps to the point where they're waking up in the middle of the night and their muscles are so cramped. It's so painful. And you could just see their pain in their face. And so I got him started on hydrate. And he hasn't, thank God, knock on wood, he has not had any problems with that. And I think that just helps. It's electrolytes. It's helping your body replenish. It's helping your cells replenish a lot faster. So that downtime of hydration is a lot less. You're refueling, you're rehydrating a lot faster. So any other questions? I love questions, so don't be afraid to ask. There's no question that's not good. Every question's great. So
anyone?
I have a friend in their 70s. She's a diabetic and is getting worse. Let's see what this is. Let me pull it up. It's going to go to, it says it's low diet on the glycemic scale. Is that good for diabetics? So that was Erin, which is a good thing for diabetics. Yes, thank you, Erin. And a friend in her 70s, diabetics getting worse. What could I tell her about Shakeology? Well, first of all, she's in her 70s and she's a diabetic. She needs to be on a meal plan. Hopefully she is, and she's cutting back on the things that she needs to be. She's not. No, she needs to be. And Shakeology is one of those things, again, it's working with the body's circulatory system, right? So like we talked about, going in, giving your body the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that it needs. So it's going to help circulate the blood more. It's going to help push those things through. And as a diabetic, you know, you have your highs and your lows. So it's definitely going to help her and stabilizing those those peaks, those spikes that she may have, and her pressure going up and going down. I mean, I have quite a few diabetics, and Erin is one of them too. She's pre-diabetic, and she can tell you it's been very helpful for her. So it would be something. And there are some insurance companies, and I'm braced to say this. Sorry, Erin, you have type 2. There are some insurance companies that will cover your Shakeology if you have a wellness clause in your insurance. So find out, ask. Some of the older patient, like the elderly patients that are on Medicare, Medicaid, and things like that, they do have a wellness clause. I know my grandma does. She gets wellness care. The government pays like $400 or $500 for wellness to come in and to help her, and she could even has a caregiver that they pay for. So depending on what state aid she has in terms of her insurance, ask her and see. And I'm going to be honest, like a lot of times the elderly, those who are in their 60, 65, their only reason why is they don't want to spend the money. They just don't want to spend the money. But if you go into their medicine cabinet, my goodness gracious, you see every single oil, castor oil, omega-3, 5, 6, 7, B12, 13, 14, I mean, anything that was ever made, it's in their medicine cabinet. And you're like, there's thousands of dollars of vitamin C. Oh, this Kirkland vitamin C, I heard it's the greatest thing, and it's going to really help me. Well, you know what? Camu is in Shakeology, and it's the highest grade vitamin C anywhere on the planet. So you're buying that stuff from Costco, from Kirkland, because they give you a big, huge thing of it, and they supersize it. And, it's not going to be nearly as effective in the system, and nor is it going to be as pure as Camu. So one of my friend of mine who's been having issues with her feet, circulatory, I would assume. She's told she may have to be on disability, and was taking off work for now. Okay, what kind of thing is she having going on with her feet? That just depends on what is going on with her feet. If it's a circulatory issue,
mostly hereditary.
Hereditary.
Yeah.
Like what is it with her feet? Like
she's always been pigeon-toed and has had issues walking all the time, and it always interferes with her job.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something, it sounds more like a disability. So I don't think that that's something that the insurance would work with. I mean, especially if it's a disability. And I don't being like an actual physical disability is not something that is internal. You know what I'm saying? So if if it was something internal, like we're talking something that could be fixed through medication, then there's a possibility. But something that's a disability, no.
Okay.
No. So if you guys have kids and there's no reason to hesitate to give your kids Shakeology, like there's really not. And my kids drink it, my son drinks it, my daughter drinks it. They come home from baseball, and I'm like, not making dinner if it's 7 o'clock at night. Everyone's getting shakes tonight. Like it's just as healthy for them as it is for you. So remember that it's not something that's just for weight loss. Does weight loss happen? Yes. Why does it happen? Because it doesn't just pull. Like, have you ever noticed that people who are on like these crash crazy diets, it pulls from your stomach, right? And all of a sudden you'll see them like their faces are like this, but the rest of their body is still bloated and puffy. And you're like, oh, they're on that no carb diet, because you can just tell. I can see it in their faces before I can see it anywhere on their body. Shakeology is not, and our programs are not like that. You'll find that inches are just falling off. But you guys, your nutrition is number one. It is like I said, it's 80% of anything. You can go into the gym and you can work your booties off. And if you do not control what you put from hand to mouth, if you do not control what you put in your mouth, you're not going to reach your goals. I don't care I have friends and a couple of my team that's, that they'll even tell you, like, we've seen people where they will be running marathons and we're like, girl, like, you are training for a marathon and you should be like dropping weight and getting healthy, and you still are like, she's like, I'm gaining weight. And I'm like, it's because you're going to Carl's Jr., which don't even get me started, but you're picking up, Carl's something star special, and you're getting some fries and a drink on your way out. I just ran 15 miles. Well, I don't care if you just ran 30 miles. That's not the fuel that your body needs. So real quick, I know I didn't touch base on this, and I do want to cover it before I let you guys go, but your body has a certain level of a tolerance, right? And just to give you guys, this is something I didn't cover and I should have, why Shakeology is helping our bodies, again, within the digestive system, is as generations have changed with food. Definitely changed 10 years ago from what we have in our foods today. From farm to table, you lose 30% of the nutrients. So if we're losing those nutrients, we're losing them to processing, right? Additives, preservatives, sugars, colors, flavors, artificial, anything. You see it in all products. One thing that people don't notice, and the FDA just slaps it on and lets it go by, it drives me nuts, is that they'll let certain foods go by saying all natural, no artificial flavors. But if you turn it around, especially those Auntie Annie's sausages that we get at Costco, and those, we love those sausages, right? You guys know which ones I'm talking about, the apple and chicken and all that and all this. Okay. I encourage you guys to go and look at the back of that package and see how much sodium is in there. What the FDA doesn't, they totally let these companies get away with is saying that it's all natural, no artificial flavors or colors, additives, or anything like that. But hello, salt. Yes, it's a natural flavor. It's natural. It's a mineral, right? But it's a preservative. And those sausages have between 400 to 500 milligrams of salt in just one sausage. Just one. That's before you put the ketchup, the mustard, the hot dog, or the hot dog bun, or all that other great stuff. That's just the sausage, you guys. That's just the sausage. So understanding that affects our body, that is what and why Shakeology is helping people who are, because now your body is getting all those nutrients that it needs, and you're not feeling like you want to have all those bad, yucky, gross foods. Tyson chicken needs to be pulled off the market because it is terrible for you. If you guys have any Tyson chicken in your freezers right now, I want you guys to go throw it away. Before you throw it away, I want you guys to look at that. I don't care how good it tastes. I don't care. I know. I get it. My mom likes to make it for my kids when they go to Portland. I'm like, Mom, seriously, if you give my kids Tyson chicken one more time, I'm never coming here again. Like, stop giving them Tyson chicken. She's like, but it tastes so good. I'm like, no, it's salt. You might as well just go and open up that thing of salt, pour it inside of a tablespoon, and eat it, because it's terrible. And I finally had to show her, like, look in the back. And she's like, oh, you're no fun, Rachel. And I'm like, I'm no fun. I'm like, listen, when you're complaining to me that, your muscles hurt, your body's achy, you got arthritis, and I'm telling you stop eating, Tyson chicken. Costco ruined everything. Everything was supersized. When Costco came to the market, everyone thought bigger was better. Bigger's not better. It's just bigger. It's not better. It's not better. Eat less. Eat higher quality foods, and your body's going to start responding better to it. And you won't be so hungry. But Tyson chicken, oh my gosh, I looked at the back of those little chicken nuggets, and it gets me, because they're like, oh, natural, no artificial flavors, preservatives, all real chicken. Yeah, well, that big coat, that chicken, I don't even know how they can get away with saying it's real chicken parts is what they should say. But that coat of breading that's on that chicken, one piece of chicken, you guys, one piece of Tyson chicken, 798 milligrams of sodium. One little stinking piece that's like the size of my mouse.
Wah, wah.
Right? I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, it's crazy. Stop eating the Tyson chicken. So yeah, I'm not fun to go to Costco with, because I just walk up and down. I look and do I eat the foods at Costco? Do I try the stuff? I usually do, and then I'll look at the back and be like, are you kidding me right now? And my kids be like, Mom, don't embarrass us. And I'm like, all right, I won't. Listen, it's all about choices, it's about moderation, being healthy. But your team and how to build your team is to teach this stuff, is to help them understand. Don't put them in a challenge group and stop talking about Shakeology. Put them in a challenge group and share this with your team. Share this information with your teams and watch your teams grow, and really help them to understand how it works. Every once in a while, throw that video, 100 Doctors Don't Lie, inside of your team pages. Also throw down that that video of Darren O'Lean, like the superfood video that he does, where he's actually in Peru and all those crazy places looking for the, adaptogenic herbs and picking the shakeology from the tree. Like, that's so cool. I want to do that one day. Like, he's my hero. I think that's just so awesome. So, anything else, you guys, for me? Can pregnant women have Shakeology? Absolutely. Can breastfeeding mamas have? I see babies that their breastfeeding mamas can have Shakeology too.
That's what kills me when I get asked that. I'm like, okay, but you're gonna go eat McDonald's. So yes, of course. Like, Shakeology is amazing for you, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Next time someone says they're going to eat McDonald's, tell them to go get themselves a Happy Meal and set it out on the counter and see what it looks like 6 months from now, because it will look the exact same.
Yeah.
Guys, that's what you're putting into your body. Like, you're putting in play food. You're putting in something that can stand the test of time and never have one little thing of mold on it ever. And that's what we're eating. Listen, I'll tell you guys straight up, and I hate to say this, but I really feel like, and I'm seeing it more and more, is that the things that we are ingesting into our system is what's making our country sick. I mean, I really truly believe that, and it's sad and it breaks my heart. But why is no other country in the world sick? Why is our country the sickest? And I really want to know, why is our country the sickest? Go to France, go to Europe, go to the Middle East, and they are not sick. They are healthy. They live long, healthy lives. They die well into their hundreds. They're not sickened by cancer. They're not sickened by all these crazy digestional issues. You guys, what drives me nuts, and this is something I got to share this with you guys before I get out of here, but okay, when we have children, okay, moms, we have kids, right? We breastfeed our babies, we give them formula, whatever it is, but until they're up to like 6 or 7 months, we don't give them anything else, right? Because their body's got to tolerate what we're giving them. And sometimes certain formulas, their bodies can tolerate better than other formulas, right? So we try to find what works. And then we introduce them to rice cereal. And sometimes rice cereal works for them. And then we're like, okay, let's give them a little bit of carrots. Let's see how they do with that. And the funny faces that they make, we wait 5 days to see how their bodies tolerate it, right? We don't introduce anything else until we see how their body tolerates this. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? We do that to see what their bodies can tolerate. And then we move into the next step. Like, okay, they tolerated that, okay, no gas, no rashes, we're good. Let's go to the next one. And we don't introduce anything else until we see if that works in their bodies. What in the heck happened? We become adults and we just forget that we can just add any little thing into our bodies and our bodies aren't going to react to something. It's not that we're lactose intolerant, you guys. It's not that we can't take gluten anymore. It's not like all of a sudden we drank milk all our lives. We all grew up on milk and on cheese. And now all of a sudden we're, in our 20s or 30s and we can't have cheese anymore. You go into your 40s, 50s. Oh, I'm sorry, you're now lactose intolerant. No, it's whatever's in that product that is causing you to have dietary distress. It is something that they're putting into that, because now our bodies, because they were created that way to let us know, boo-doo, something's wrong, don't give me that, doesn't make me feel good. And we're like, oh, I must be lactose intolerant. No, you're not lactose intolerant. There's just something in that product that they've just started using. Gosh, it's really funny. I've always been able to use, eat cottage cheese, but all of a sudden I can't have cottage cheese anymore. I must be lactose intolerant. No, there's something in that cottage cheese that's causing you to have that issue. Don't give up on cottage cheese. Let's see if we can find one that's a little more natural, or something that maybe make it yourself. I have to make my own yogurt. It's the only way that I can eat it. I love yogurt, so I make my own, because I can't have store-bought yogurt. It really just makes my stomach just bottle up. But I still eat cheese, and I still eat, cottage cheese. But there's just something in the way that the yogurts are formulated, the prebiotics that are in the live cultures that are in the yogurts, store-bought yogurts. I can't have them, so I make my own, and I'm fine. So don't buy into all that, is what I'm saying. Ask questions and do some research and really find out what it is. But Shakeology does help with all that. but it's not the, it's not the holy grail. It's not going to fix everything, but it certainly helps. So, all right, you guys, I have taken up so much of your time, and I just hope that I gave you guys some nuggets to take away to your teams today, and some things for you guys to think about, especially when it comes to Shakeology, and some things for you guys to share. And, don't hesitate to ask. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can ask Natalie. She can ask me, and I'm happy to, report back when I can. And, but do share the benefits of Shakeology, and do build your teams with foundationally strong, like make it a strong foundation so your house doesn't come tumbling down on you, because it's got to be built strong. And don't be afraid to share. And who cares? People want to yell at you. People want to tell you it's a scam. People want to tell you, whatever they want to tell you, whatever, just smile and say, okay, it's all good. I'll be here in a year,
Yes. Thank you so much. You guys, if you want to be in the picture, put your face on your, there you go, yo. Your head was cut off earlier, so now, hey, Nicole, I didn't know you were on too. Okay, y'all are on there. Let's see. Anyone else want their face on the call? There's a finger. There we go. All right, so on 3, I'm going to take the picture. 1, 2, 3, and 2. One more. 1, 2, 3. I love how there's more faces in just one picture. Okay, thank you so much for sharing. That was so informative, and I took a ton of notes, and I can't wait for the rest of the team to listen, because I know that they're going to get a lot out of it. So thank you so much for everything. We really appreciate it. And I guess, are we good, guys?
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much. And
you're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, you guys. Have a great night.
All right, thank you.